What's up guys, my name is Justin Melson. I create all the content on the Happy Fox Productions YouTube channel. And today, we're gonna be talking about Blackmagic Cinema Camera, which is this bad boy right here. And this is just gonna be a video of my initial thoughts and everything. I've been using the camera for about half a year now. And what I think about it, I think it's great, especially for the price range. My initial thoughts on it so far is, well, one, I've had it for about 6 months, and I really think it's an interesting camera, really oddly shaped camera, as you can see, but it really is something revolutionary for indie filmmakers. I'll just go over what goes in the box really quick. First, you get a strap, which I haven't seen anyone use yet because honestly, it would just get in the way. I don't really. It's cool that they put it in there, but I don't see a use for it. Sun hood, basically a sun hood. Again, doesn't really help too much. I mean, for some people it probably does, but me being out in Vegas, where the sun is like super harsh because we're in a desert, doesn't really do much help. And then you get different power outlet adapters for different continents like Europe, etc., Asia, but I haven't really used those. And this doesn't come with it, but I bought it. You get a solid state disc little case, which was about $5 on Amazon, and it doesn't protect it too much. There's not even cushioning in there, but it does help it like prevent from sand and stuff getting in there if you had a beach or something. Okay, also something else I'd recommend is having a ton of hard drives. This camera eats up hard drives like crazy. Like if you're shooting RAW, which is uncompressed at the moment, hopefully they release a firmware for that. If you're shooting RAW, you're gonna eat up hard drives. Here's one hard drive, like 2 hard drives, 3 terabyte hard drive, and I have 3 more plugged into my computer right now, plus a 2 terabyte internal hard drive. This camera eats up hard drives like crazy, even if you're shooting in ProRes. But what is awesome is Blackmagic just released their firmware 1.8.2, I believe, which you can find on their website, which gives you different recording options for the ProRes codec. You can get ProRes 422, ProRes Proxy, ProRes Lite, and I think that's it for now. I might be missing something, but that also helps keep your file size down. And if you really look at the compression, you can't tell too much of a difference unless it's low light and you're really looking for different compression artifacts. But I'd definitely recommend downloading that firmware because, I mean, all firmware updates are good to download. You should definitely download that. The cons of this camera is the body is really awkward ergonomically. I mean, but most professional cameras, their bodies aren't the best shaped. I mean, if you look at Red Epic, Red Dragons, even like an Alexa, the body's like a box, but you have to rig it up with rails and all that stuff to make it, you know, operatable, which is the same with this camera. It's just more awkward than those. So make sure you have some sort of rail system or rig to go with this camera, especially if you're doing event videography, because I've had 2 times now where somebody asked me what I'm even shooting with, because I'm shooting an event and then they're like, what is that? Is that a camera? I'm like, yeah, it's a camera. And they're like, oh, it looks like a Polaroid. And I mean, come on. Does this look like this? I guess a little bit. But either way, I would just say make sure to rig it up a little bit so it looks more like a camera, just for the sake of your, I don't know, looks on set, I guess. But other than that, another con is overheating. Because I live in a desert. I live in Las Vegas, where it can get like 117 degrees some days. And if I take this thing outside, within 5 minutes, I can already see my screen starting to get blurry. Some of the focus peaking on there, it starts popping up when it's not supposed to. It just gets really, really messy, and it's abnormally hot. So I would definitely, if you're in a really chill place like California or somewhere where the weather's pretty consistent all year, you're pretty good. But if you're in a desert or you're someplace really cold, I'd look out for that. I guess another con would be, of course, battery life. They say you get about 90 minutes, but honestly you get less than that. You get about an hour if you're recording continuously, which I do have a solution for. I use the Switchtronics power-based battery, which gives me about 5 hours of recording time, which I guess is worth the money, because this battery itself is like $300. $300 to power this camera, basically, and then they want $50 for the charger. It's like, I don't know. But just make sure you have a battery solution for that. Also, I would say another solution is to have hard drives. You really, really, really need to have a lot of hard drives for this camera. I have a 3 terabyte hard drive, some more internal hard drives, eSATA drives, and then I have 4 more hard drives in my computer, plus a 2 terabyte internal hard drive, and this camera is eating up a lot of hard drives. Especially if you shoot RAW, I would definitely, because they don't have compressed RAW in this camera right now, so I would definitely make sure that you have a solution for that and a backup. Even when you're shooting on your SSDs, because since it's uncompressed RAW or ProRes HQ 422, you really want to have a backup. Like what I would recommend is having multiple 240 gigabyte drives. So if something happens to one, you don't lose all your data, because there are some companies now that are releasing like 960 gigabyte SSDs. And if you buy one of those and something happens to that, you're losing 960 gigs rather than just having multiple 240 gig hard drives. If that makes any sense. That's just me personally. But speaking of SSDs, what I would recommend is Sandisk. I got mine refurbished for about $140. And this is a 240 gig, and it honestly hasn't failed me yet. There's no drop frames. Actually, I haven't experienced a drop frame since I've had this camera, and it's been about 6 months. So I definitely recommend Sandisk, although they're one of the most expensive. But honestly, just get them refurbished, because it's basically factory refurbished. It's not, well, it's used, but definitely look at refurbished or new ones. It's up to you, but Sandisk, definitely recommend those. So something else that you need to get with the camera is a docking system, which is a way to get your footage off your camera into your computer. So one, this camera doesn't record on tapes, because all my old cameras, they tape, hard drives, they're all, I would use something like this, which is a really, again, overly priced, expensive piece of equipment. You just put your tape in there and you import it into your computer. But we don't need that anymore. So you just get like a HyperDeck or something, but this is a Startech. I don't remember the model number. I'll try and find it and put it in the description. But what you do is you just plug your drive in there. You can connect it to an eSATA port, I don't know if you can see that, or USB 3.0 or 2.0 if your computer still has 2.0. I do USB 2.0. So my initial thoughts of the camera are, it really is great for the money. For $2,000, getting 13 stops, 2.5K RAW. Yeah, those are the main pros of the camera. Getting those for about $2,000 really is incredible. Coming from, a DSLR, or even years ago, I would use something like this, which is 480p, probably like -2 stops of dynamic range. Industry's going a long ways when it comes to cameras, so I would really recommend this camera. What is also great is, even if you don't have the best lenses, this doesn't help with low light. If you don't have a good low light lens, this camera can't help you there. But if you have, not the best lenses, I have a 50mm f1.8 right here, which isn't the sharpest lens. It's a $100 lens. Nifty 50. I mean, it is a great lens, but it's not the sharpest. And good thing about those cameras, when you shoot 2.5K RAW or even ProRes, you still get a lot of sharpness and clarity from that codec or format. So also, if you apply sharpening in post-production, that really ups the quality. Not too much though, I wouldn't push it too much, which is great. So if your lens are really soft, add some sharpening. And I'm not saying it's gonna work all the time, I'm not saying just go do it, but it really does help your image a lot. All right guys, thank you for watching my review, somewhat of a review on the Blackmagic Cinema Camera. I know this wasn't a whole lot of helpful information, but I just wanted to kind of let out my thoughts on the camera. I've used it for about 7 months, so I feel like I have 7 months worth of stuff to say about it. But if you guys want any more information or you want to keep up with what I'm doing, feel free to follow me on Twitter somewhere in this frame. If you'd like to be notified of more short films or anything like that, or you'd like to see the short films where that footage is from in the earlier part of this video, feel free to subscribe or check out my channel. And other than that, thank you very much for watching. See you later.